Hello everyone! The focus of today's video will be on Sana's manager from Kodocha, Ray Sagami. Ray is one of the more interesting adult characters from the series, as he's given a fleshed out backstory that's revealed pretty early on. Today we'll mainly be discussing his psychology as well as his various roles in the anime specifically, since his character went through many changes in that adaptation. Without further ado, let's take a look at the coolest sunglasses wearing manager around, Ray Sagami. Before Ray became Sana's manager, he experienced many hardships, one after another, eventually leading him to become homeless and living on the streets. During high school, Ray and Asako Kurumi were in a very close romantic relationship, but it all changed when the two started to attend college. Asako told Ray that she wanted some space and time to focus on her acting career, so the two broke up, leaving Ray particularly heartbroken. After the breakup was when life started to really go downhill for Ray. He flunked out of college, lost his parents in a fatal car accident, and because of their death, he was unable to pay the bills and lost his home, forcing him to live on the streets. Because his breakup with Asako was the start of Ray's bad luck in life, he began blaming her for everything that happened to him. Through the devastation and despair, the only way that Ray could cope with everything was by projecting. In psychology, projection is regarded as a defense mechanism to displace any negative feelings towards the self onto other people or situations. In this case, Ray started projecting onto Asako in their breakup to deal with the shame and anxiety brought on by his failure to finish college and his grief due to the loss of his parents. These feelings were most likely so overwhelming for Ray that he started blaming Asako, as it made his personal troubles easier to deal with, by releasing any negative feelings he might have had towards himself onto her. In my opinion, Ray most likely felt like a failure as an adult, being unable to finish school and keep up with finances without his parents. He also probably felt like he had no purpose without his relationship with Asako, since it was the most important aspect of his life for a long time. Dealing with the inner turmoil and becoming homeless was too much for him to bear, which is why he shifted all the blame on Asako so he could cope with his situation. Soon after he became homeless, Sana notices him on the street while walking home with Misako, and she explains to her daughter about how people can fall on hard times. One day when Sana is walking home alone, she decided to befriend Ray and take him home. Misako is of course shocked by this, but eventually allows him to stay and hires him as Sana's manager. Sana began to call Ray her boyfriend, and because he was so grateful to her for turning his life around, he decided to play that role for her until she was old enough to understand that they would never be together in that way. Ray plays an integral role at the start of Kodocha. Being Sana's quote-unquote first love interest, she learns through her relationship with Ray that romantic love is a lot more complicated than it may seem, and a relationship like that between an adult and child is not only impossible but also extremely immoral. As Misako put it, there is no way that an adult like Ray could love a child like Sana romantically. I love how the series handles this situation, since it's a very sensitive topic that could have been really uncomfortable if mishandled. Honestly, I was relieved that Ray never had ill intentions with Sana and that the situation was used as a way for Sana to grow. It's after she realizes that Ray never really loves her romantically that the relationship between Sana and Akito begins to develop and become stronger. As for Ray, telling the truth to Sana helped him confront himself and his past when Asako comes back into his life. From what we can tell, Ray has difficulty facing his problems, which is apparent when he keeps avoiding the situations where he would have to interact with Asako. I think Ray also convinced himself that he didn't want to be with her anymore because of the pain he went through, which was also motivating him to leave the area whenever she was around. By confronting his own emotions and being truthful with not only Sana but himself, he was able to make up with Asako and embrace his love for her, as well as his own identity. Ray is a character that's gone through many different roles in his life, from being a boyfriend to Asako, a college student, a homeless man, to a manager and caregiver to a little girl. I would also theorize that Ray might have struggled with feeling in control of his own life, which would add another interesting layer to his character. To feel a sense of purpose, he took on the role of Sana's manager and boyfriend graciously, because he had no control of the direction of his life at that point. Because he finally told Sana the truth with the help of Misako, and making amends with Asako, he also regained a sense of control within his life, breaking free of any roles given to him by others and embracing his own emotions and desires. I love how after this initial conflict, Ray acts as a father figure for Sana throughout the rest of the series. But I was also a little disappointed by the fact that there's never really another major serious plot point involving Ray again. There are some filler episodes focusing on Ray and Asako, usually humorous ones, making us think that Asako's going to leave him for someone else. Even though Ray is and will always be an extremely important part of Kodocha, it saddens me that his character no longer moves the story forward in a meaningful way after the first quarter of the series. While arguments could be made that this is a logical step for the character since the focal point of the series is Sana and Akito's romance, I still would have loved to see more interactions between Ray and the rest of the cast that weren't purely for comedy. We get a few cute moments between him and Asako after he quote-unquote breaks up with Sana and during the Mansion of Water arc, but the filler episodes typically make a joke out of their relationship and how Asako is so focused on her acting career. I just think after a while their relationship isn't taken as seriously as all the others in the series. I would even argue that the relationship between Fuka and Takaishi feels more seriously written than theirs. Ray is also the butt of a few jokes in the New York arc, as his discomfort towards Bernie's flirting is meant to add to the comedy during these episodes. I don't mind Ray being comic relief sometimes, but I just feel like there needed to be more going on with his character, especially since he was such an integral part of the central story early on. Maybe having more father-daughter moments between him and Sana, or even a mini-arc between him and Akito that shows them trying to get along, as Ray spends most of the series suspicious of him. It would not only be a funny arc, but could show Ray realizing how Akito would be a good boyfriend to Sana. Ray just has so much more potential as a character, and this potential even falls short in the manga too, in my opinion. In the anime especially, though, Ray is relegated to comic relief and his filler episodes are often predictable and don't add anything to his character. So what are your thoughts on Ray? What do you think about his character development throughout Kodocha? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please like and subscribe for more Kodocha content in the future. Thank you for watching the video. See ya!